Even if the price of XRP or any other coin you care about is a little lower by the time you watch this, don't worry. On a longer term or big picture level, no analysts I follow are worried that this market cycle won't continue very strongly to a final peak with happy, blissful euphoria at some point in the near future. It's coming. What will happen in the short term is more important. And if you're interested and want to get down to the details, I'm going to share opinions from a number of reliable sources. Even if you're like me and all you do is hodl and aren't a trader, you should still be following this stuff because that way, if the price goes down, you won't be affected emotionally. When it comes to investing in crypto, we are our own worst enemies. If anyone is going to mess this up, it's probably going to be ourselves. People panic, sell, and trip over things. Different people have different psychological traits that affect markets. However, data shows that the real winners are those who have broad exposure to the market, stay for as long as it takes, and hodl, not the traders or the people who get too attached to their places. But yes, the gathering is coming. In fact, I'm going to tell you what a few XRP chart analysts think. One of them says that XRP will lead a violent rise. What do you know? I really don't doubt it, okay? But let's be clear first before we go any further. There is no money history of any kind for me. I'm not giving you business advice. Also, you should never buy or sell something because of what I say, right? Actually, I'm just an amateur who likes making YouTube movies about crypto as a hobby and for fun. It is 8 p.m. when I record this film, center time, which is my time zone. Right on the dot. The 4th of September 2025 is today. A little bit of XRP is going down, $2.78. The market is down all over. It's a sea of red, but nothing too dramatic. Bitcoin is down to about $110,511. Nothing crazy. Take a look at this post from the chain analytics company Santiment. It was made about 4 hours ago at 3:56 p.m. Central Time. They don't seem to care about this. It's no secret that I love Santiment. They always do great work and are very dependent on data. Thus, this is what Santiment said. Over the past 2 weeks, a big bullish divergence has been taking shape. Since August 22nd, Bitcoin's market value has gone down 5.9%. Since August 22nd, the S&P 500 has gone up 0.4%. Since August 22nd, gold prices have gone up 5.5%. Since the beginning of 2022, there has been a strong link between cryptocurrency and stocks, as institutions have become more exposed to them along with their stock assets. When prices for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, like XRP, lag behind the world economy for a long time, like they have been doing for the past 2 weeks, there is a good chance that they will catch up. People, did you hear that? That is the truth. That doesn't mean that's what will happen here. Yeah, that's just because we've seen a lot of situations like this happen where XRP, alts, and Bitcoin all fall behind other things and then catch up in a big way. Then they write that the case for an upcoming crypto bounce is stronger the bigger the gap between stocks and Bitcoin. That's correct, as there is a clear link between the stock market and cryptocurrency, if you look at it over a very long time. So if you see the stock market acting that way for stocks, and if you don't see the same thing happening in the short term for Bitcoin, XRP, and the altcoin market, well, historically speaking, you do catch up. That's why I'm saying that even if the market is down to whatever degree by the time you watch this, in my humble opinion, it doesn't matter. That's the kind of thing that makes people feel things, and then they'll act in the market in ways that they'll probably look back and think, wow, that was really stupid. I don't get cute with them because that could happen. But here I am, changing my life by becoming rich while doing nothing. I've owned it since 2017 and bought it several times since then. It's worth more the longer I hold on to it. That doesn't mean that everything I buy will be worth a lot of money in the future, but I did get some attention. It's about the crypto portfolio as a whole, and putting the most effort into big caps and maybe some mid caps. I also have some small caps, but they come with a lot more risk. That means you're willing to take a lot more risk. And I'm not counting on those things for the part of my crypto wealth that will change my life. I'm not, at this point, big caps in crypto are more than enough. Are big caps going to make you rich in crypto in a few decades? No, by then they will have too much money in them. If you're reading this in 2025, you are so lucky to still be alive. Excellent work. These days, buying in crypto can make you a ridiculously rich person because there is so little money in it. That's because the market isn't very liquid. That's why this is a good time. Dom is a chart expert, and this is his post. He says that Bitcoin lost $108,000. This could be the first step back in this whole cycle. You can see that he's showing you a map that goes back to the end of 2022 if you look at the screen. In fact, it's about the second half of 2022. He says, I love to picture an upward trend as a flight of stairs. Do you ever take a step back when you go upstairs? The same way can be used to look at structure. Why step back? That being said, it doesn't mean the market can't go down at any time. It's clear that's not the point he's making. Take a look at the levels he says are resistance and support. It has been shown over and over again that once a key resistance is passed, it goes back down to be tested as support. That's fine, yes. It doesn't just fall through that and keep going up though. That is the point he is making here. That's why he says $108,000 is a key number. The $105,000 was talked about by other experts. I follow, we're not getting a clear picture there. No matter what, that's the level he's suggesting here. And he's pointing out that we're pretty much at it. Is that amount of support going to turn back into resistance? I really hope not. That's why too, that $105,000 mark has been mentioned by analysts like Credible Crypto, the blockchain backer, and Crypto Insight UK. That's why the blockchain backer said that if we go below 105K, people will start to seriously consider that maybe the top is in for Bitcoin. The good news is that we can still have a place where altcoins like XRP can thrive, even if that does happen. So it won't ruin things for us, but it would, and you should want Bitcoin to keep going up, and I do too. Because more money moves into Bitcoin, more money will turn into XRP and other currencies before this whole thing is over. In this post, Credible Crypto shows a Bitcoin USD chart and says right now I'm just keeping an eye on our last swing low at $108,400. If we break through that, we'll probably go for the range lows at $107,200, which if you remember is where I'd like to think about a long-term chance. He does hodl, but now he's talking about trade. And if we can keep it above $108,400, there's a chance we'll get another push to the upside, along with a new higher low, and the chance to keep going to the $117,000 level of liquidity. So based on how things go, we make it a much bigger help in the short term. Don't freak out if it goes down by the time you watch this. It could also go up, and I know that's for people who don't understand how useful chart analysis is. So you're saying it could go up, down, or stay the same. Thanks, and then the market might do that. It's not all that they say. They set specific conditions so that if certain things happen, other things are more likely to happen. So when you simplify it that way, you sound like a fool. That's not the case here. This is a post from the on-chain analytics company Swissblock. They wrote that Bitcoin is breaking out of the critical zone. A straight drop to $100,000 was never the most likely outcome. The wall fought back until now. The gate for $113,600 to $115,600 is shown above. There was protest. After a pullback, price needs new energy to get past it. If it does, it will have to deal with strong resistance at $118,000. That's pretty close to the level that Trustworthy Crypto is talking about. Isn't that interesting? That means we know we might be able to get to that level sooner rather than later. There's no way to be sure, but that's not why we look at charts. You're not sure, it's about the chances of what will happen. And for everyday people like me, and hopefully for you who don't trade, I hope you don't trade, because almost everyone who trades loses money. We need to help each other keep our feelings in check, because if you watch crypto every day like I do, I'm telling you,